What is up, guys? King Vanderbilt back at you with part 2. Well, I should say chapter 2. To what if Deku was the Doom Slayer? It's always fun to say it like that. Yeah, but it seems that people really liked the first part, as and everybody wanted another part straight away. So I'll give it to them. Yeah, without any complaints, without any hassles, kick up the ass. Even if I'm tired, we gotta do it. But yeah, um, so. I hope you guys enjoy this part. It's been going on for a bit longer. A link's down and below to the music I use, obviously. I want to make it as authentic as possible, so I use a lot of Doom soundtracks done by the legendary Mick Gordon. Fuck yes, they're amazing. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. In Chapter 1, Izuku has now, well, has finally entered the territory of the Doom Slayer. After witnessing the start and the eventual fall of humanity, only one question is left after his reign as the infamous Doom Slayer. What shall prosper? What shall fall? After he watched his classmates get torn to pieces, he watched many people die, and watched his own mother, well, die in front of his own eyes. As nothing but a hate-filled soul was left to remain, and a pile of corpses in his wake. As his rage extends not beyond Earth's realm, but into the hearts of demons, forcing them to go even further into the abyss. And this is where we go into the second chapter. So, after the events of last part, there was an eventual establishment. A company, well, that was founded by Dr. Samuel Hayden and, well, and David Shield. The UAC founded a safe haven using the recent technological advances of I Island. As they had the technology and the understanding as, well, through their research of Argent energy, they figured out how it worked in many ways. Even though they realized what they was finding, what they were researching, was what caused all of this to happen. As mankind should never have a power such as this. And for that, heaven sent hell's wrath upon them. A safe haven was formed. Island was turned into, well, the last hope of humanity. There was many settlements outside of it, however, often run by gangs and small hero factions. However, their numbers dwindled. The chances and the odds of surviving was slim, next to none, as the demons roamed around in the darkness, cackling wherever they went. The skies turned red, and the seas were stained with blood. As, well, the land was being charred. It seems that the more humanity seemed to try and struggle, the worse the hellish torture seemed to continue on for. However, using the safe haven, many heroes were able to try and help these settlements and bring them back. As from their estimations, around about 60% of the population was killed in a matter of months. Not even the Hero Society was able to stop its fall. They were only able to delay the inevitable. Many died. Some were left disfigured and scarred. Others traumatized and never the same. One of those brave heroes was Izuku, who He sat there, sitting on a bench, staring at his helmet. As he looked there quietly, he put it back on he walked towards as he walked towards a room filled with people. As he stood there silently standing at the back, as it was Professor, as he was saying, "Alright, is everybody here for the mission briefing?" As everybody looks around and, well, some people are whispering, is that him? Is that the guy? It said, yeah, it's him. The Doomslayer. Oh God. He's a living legend. As the lecturer said, yes, the Doomslayer is here now, let us get on. The information's important. Just because our society might have powers and heroes, it didn't mean nothing to the demons. We need to figure out their weakness. We need to strike them and hit them where it hurts most. That's what this mission briefing's about. We've collected a lot of data and intel. The supplies on our island, well, they're the best around. However, they're not infinite. The finite resources that we do have left are running out slowly but surely. So we need to send these teams on important data retrieval missions and supply runs. So you'll be forming teams. But before you assign you onto different missions on the cast, you need to be debriefed from the type of danger you'll be running into. As well, he starts clicking through a slide as he had a presentation opened up. As he starts clicking by the slides, as he says, "This is the imp. Many of you have already seen this creature. It's the most common, the lowest ranking, besides the possessed. The mindless husks of the humans that once remained. These imps, even though they're quite small and weak compared to the upper demons, these lower demons are able to rip a man apart with just their bare hands and their sharp claws. But not because of their lack of strength in comparison to the others. They're also quite fast. They will run up to easily 45 kilometers an hour, much faster than any normal human can. They also are able to produce a fireball that seeps out argent energy. And as many of you have been provided in detail packs, argent energy with enough is able to augment the user of it to give them super strength and durability. These creatures can take several powerful blows as their hardened outer skin are able to take, most common and low caliber rifle bullets. You'll need specially designed UAC, guns and ammo to be able to pierce through their skin easily. As he clicks through another slide. And this is the Kako demon. These demons are often seen flying through the sky in big packs. Often if there's one nearby, there is certain to be a group close by as well. Please note that these things, their weakness is their eye. Aim for that and you'll be golden. And for any combat situation, always try and land an explosive inside their mouth to disarm them and kill them from within, as their skin is quite tough as well. As he moves on to the next. This is the Archfiend. These are small winged creatures that have a less of a defensive barrier than the imps. However, they have a lot more striking and aerial combat capabilities. These are quite dangerous when in a pack, however quite easy to dismantle on their own, only using low caliber rifle bullets. He starts clicking through the rest of the presentation, and everybody is just quite shocked, as some of these things are the stuff of nightmares. They've already seen them up close. How they still couldn't believe, well, with the research they've done in a short amount of time, how terrifying these creatures are. As he did, as then the lecturer finished up the presentation by saying, the urgent energy that these demons fuel upon and feast upon, that energy itself can be used against them. As one man raised his hand and said, but how is that, or how is that? Well, you see, the UAC has designed special cores that absorb urgent energy. With enough with enough of this urgent energy stored up in these cores, it grants the user special abilities, whether it being a tougher exterior or more vitality, being able to run for longer, hit harder, and move faster. We've also developed these new combat rifles as well as the heavy assault rifle that has been given out into your packs. Please do note that going to rely on your quirk is, well, as you know, can prove fatal. However, these guns have also been provided to circumvent that weakness. Sorry about the notification. As once the presentation concluded, well, Deku walked outside, or should I say, the Slayer walked outside. You know, fuck it, throwing. Anyway, no more notifications. So, the Slayer walked outside. He's walking quietly and always in a rush as always. As people tried following around and says, hey, you're the Slayer, right? As he just stood there staring at them. As they just said, would there be anything you can tell us that would help us newbies? As he just stood there staring and just walked off. So, dude, don't piss him off. Clearly, he doesn't exactly want to talk about what he's had to see. Like, imagine that dude. The reason why he's called the Slayer is because he's killed the most of these demons. As, well, his armor has been upgraded over time, now resembling the Praetor suit from Dune 2016. So, it has been updated, to be quite almost impervious, as it's been made out of new alloy that was infused with argent energy, making it stronger, lighter, and more durable. As he walked over to a command sect that was run personally by Hayden and Shield themselves. As, well, one of the guards was asking for ID, as the other one just said, don't. Says, come on, dude, it's our job, even though it's the first day. Said, no, not that. It's him. It's who is. He took as though only one word muttered out of his friend's mouth. Slayer. As they both stood aside and as they they stepped aside as he walks up into the building. As he makes his way into the laboratory. I don't know why I said it like that. He steps into the laboratory and just stands there quietly, watching the two professors and doctors walking around and fiddling with a lot of scientific gizmos. As David Shield says, if it isn't Izuku, or should I say the Slayer, as you know by now. As well, he just stood there silently. Says, not much for a talking person. Well, we're sending you in a special elite team
to go fetch some important data as well as round up some supplies we need. As there was just a single nod. And, well, Hayden had said, to clarify, we'll give you items and equipment that will update your old arsenal. As he was referring to, well, the rusted knife that has now corroded away after the blood of 1,000 demons have been soaked upon its blade, as well as the old shotgun. As he also had the heavy assault rifle, however that was given to him at the briefing, so that was a new one. They wanted to particularly update his. They wanted to update his arsenal. So they gave him a new blade. This one had the abilities of absorbing argent energy, just like his armor, becoming a lot stronger and more durable. And it had the added bonus of never being able to rust or wear. And they tried to, they took the old rusted knife away. But when they tried to take the sort of shotgun, he adamantly insisted. What I mean by that is, he got angry and raised it towards them. Basically says, David rushed between them, was like, okay, don't touch the shotgun, okay? As he just brings up, here, try our new prototype. Just take it with you, just in case. As he gave me a USC standard issue combat rifle. It says, we'll also be giving you some supplies along the way to help you, fuel up. Obviously, there'll be medical kits, food supplies, rations, extra armor platings, as well as some field tech as well. We'll give you a buzz whenever that is nearby. However, just keep the comm links down, as we want to conserve and keep this mission as stealthy as possible. Alright? The Slayer nodded and walked out. And so the two men went back to their work. As he went to go meet up with to where he was assigned. And that was to a station just on the east side of the island, right near one of the major teleporters. As he showed up there, it was sitting on a bench, sharpening his blade, staring at his reflection inside of it. The only thing that could seem to cross his mind is how long has he staring into these dull blades. As he puts it away, as somebody was calling for him. As it was somebody he knew. It was Bakugo. As he said, looks like we're on the same team, huh? As there was no reply given. So still not talking, huh? I mean, I can't blame you. As Bakugo, Todoroki, and two heroes were assigned. Aizawa was put in this as he has a new prosthetic arm that was replacing his old one that had been lost, as well as another hero being Endeavor. As Todoroki still had resentment towards Endeavor, of course, but however, it's kind of a shitty thing to still be mad at your dad when the entire almost the entire civilization's collapsed and been taken over thanks to demons. So daddy issues have to take a backseat. Endeavor tried to give the briefing and the orders, as he was technically placed as section commander due to his rank of being a top hero. So he was put in charge of leading the team and following the orders. So he tried to command everybody to tell them what to do. As in says, alright, troops, men, get your gear in order as we're heading to the portal right now. We have to wait 5 minutes to have the demons be cleared out. As we lured them away with bait. Well, we're trying to lure them away with bait. As the portal was open, however, it was only a one-way portal, as when you step through it, it teleports to your location without leaving a trace behind. So therefore, no demon could, well, in theory, be able to jump through it. As it was telling him to wait for 5 minutes. As soon as he said that, Deku pushed right past him and says, "Where are you going? You can't do that. You can't do anything at my permission." As he just stared back and gave him a glare as he walked right through the portal. As Barker says, "You can't tell him what to do." "I can't do what exactly?" "Trust me. Everybody in this damn island has tried to tell him what to do. The only reason you're even in charge here is because you are high enough ranked to lead. However, when it comes to combat prowess, he outranks you in every field." As Endeavor certainly has heard of the exploits of the Slayer, however, he didn't believe in such confidence without seeing it firsthand. As he steps through because obviously a good commander has to support his troops even in reckless decisions. As when he stepped through, that was something he was not prepared to see. As the only thing that he saw was the demons being slaughtered. Right in the midst of when he stepped out of the portal, the first thing he saw was a demon's head flying right past him as he barely dodged it. As all he could see was a barehanded slayer, not even using any weapons or blades, just brutally beating the demons down with his bare fists. As all out of nowhere, a powerful combat demon known as the Hell Knight appeared out of nowhere, as Endeavor started having a cold sweat, as this thing was tough even for most pro heroes, and it took a group of trained officers a while and a strategy just to beat this thing. However, what he saw was something he'd never expected. Izuku stood there with no change in pace, instead charging at this beast. As it went to combat him, as the first thing he did was deliver a powerful punch that seemed to radiate red energy from the demon, knocking it back, staggering it to the ground. As he pulled out his trusty sawed-off shotgun, pointed it right to its head, and blasted its face off, as it collapsed to the ground. As he just walked over the body, and then continued to go on his hunting rampage. There was cacodemons flying in the air. However, before he was instructed to leave, he got given a little present. They dubbed it the meat hook, as it was an attachment for his super shotgun, as they dubbed it, from how much blood has been soaked into its metal, giving it almost supernatural properties, being able to blast apart the hardest demons' exoskeletons and skins. So, he pointed the shotgun right at the cacodemon and fired the hook, pulling himself up towards it, brutally shoving his fist all the way up to the elbow into its eye, pulling it out, and then grabbing its blade and stabbing it up through the mouth and out outside of its head, pulling it back down, and then jumping back down as the thing fell out the sky, as all the demons that were in the area had lied dead. Within a matter of a minute, the 20 or so imps, 1 Hell Knight, and 5 Cacodemons lay dead. As though, well, the ones that Endeavor saw, the last ones that were able to survive his just few seconds of rampage. As the rest of the people jumped through, as, well, they were just saying, "Whoa, what happened here? Did you two, well, take on all these demons?" As much as it hurt Endeavor's pride, he said, "This wasn't done by me. It was all done by him." As he just stood there, well, he just stood there silently looking over the fiery, barren hellscape that is the city, well, the city of Tokyo. As he pushes forward, as he taps into his HUD, well, his HUD display pointing him in the direction of where he needed to go, as the team followed him. As Endeavor said, "Eyes sharp. You don't know where the hell these bastards coming from." As they're following him for a few minutes as he was quiet. However, Deku put his hands up. Well, his hand out, letting him know to stop. As screams and shouts started emerging from the darkness as bright red flashes as a horde of imps had now surrounded them. But that was not all. There was one dreaded beast that they were hoping never to see. The Mancubus. A huge pile of flesh and bones that seemed to make even the most daunting of foes like the Hell Knight look like a little puppy compared to it. Its skin falling off its bones and metal rending its flesh. This thing was truly an unholy being. As Deku wasn't fazed, as he looked over and saw one thing right next to him. That being an old chainsaw. As he picked it up, revved it, as it started working, as almost a smile could be felt from him, as it seemed to fit right nicely in his hands. As he charged towards the being, slashing its stomach open, as its guts falls out as it tries to fire a flamethrower. However, it soars into the cannon, causing it to explode in on itself, as he grabbed his knife and stabbed it right into the core of the beast. Picking it up, opening its jaw up and shoving it down its own core down its throat. As it seems to spill over, guts flying everywhere. As the imps start fleeing for their life, however, Izuku with his meat hook, well, they weren't going anywhere. As the rest of the team started picking up the demons one by one using their heavy assault rifles they were given, as Endeavor was punching them down using his flames and the pure strength behind his punches to, rupture their skulls and crack their bones. However, many of these demons were given mercy by them. The true fear that they had seen was the rage that was dwelling before them. As one managed to slip past long enough until he was stabbed in the back by 2 powerful hooks and pulled towards the mighty Slayer. The Slayer stared forth, the demons almost screeching in fear as he gripped its head with both hands, shoving his thumbs into their eyes and completely tearing it in half. As he received a comlink update, as it says, as it goes, is this? Hello, did we finally get through? Seems like it. Alright, we're gonna give you some coordinates. We need you to follow that. But first, look to your right. As he does so and sees a drone that flew down from the sky. As it says, take that. It's got a modification from, well, for your shotgun that you might like. As he takes it out, and it's a grenade launcher. Well, a sticky bomb to be exact. As it says, that sticky bomb is, well, unlimited. It turns one of your normal rounds by using Argent energy in the surrounding to convert it into a plasma-like grenade. Fire that into the mouth of any mancubus, any cacodemon, and they should be destroyed, well, pretty easily, requiring only a bullet or two afterwards to cause them to explode into a pile of, well, I think you understand where I'm going with this. But that blast is, well, strong enough to be able to tear even imps apart, and some of the possessed soldiers. So please do keep that in mind. As, well, now they were marching forward, as they start reaching the old UA high school. As, all the students that were within this group, started going, why are we at UA? As Endeavor says, UA was designed to be a safe shelter in case of emergencies. Seeing as how we got overrun too quickly, we weren't able to establish a safe haven. Therefore, we have to fall back into Island. As they then follow up and says, okay, but why are we here? I assume that there's any survivors that did try and come here, / anyone of importance, must have left their research and data behind. Possibly be thinking that the defense or the security would be enough to keep them living long enough for rescue. However, the demons found way past our technology. So, anybody who was here must have died. But they continued on. As they started walking to the old grounds, where they see nothing but scorched earth and, blood-soaked earth and bones. These bones were of the students. Many of them young, many of them old. Some even of the teachers. As there was a fierce battle fought. They didn't give up without a struggle. However, that struggle wasn't quite enough to stop them from departing this world. And they started walking through until they got to around the principal's office. As, somebody who was looking at the scouters, just in case any demons would have ambushed them, said, guys, stop. There's something ahead. There's multiple signatures ahead. As one disappeared and reappeared, and disappeared and reappeared. As he said, hold on, there's something wrong. This is an imp. This isn't an imp. It's disappearing and reappearing too quickly. As, they started forming up into a defense formation as, well, Deku continued walking forward. As he's saying, "Stop! Don't be reckless." As out of nowhere, a man in a tattered uniform had jumped out from a wall, trying to fly a punch towards the Slayer. As his attack missed as he stumbles down. "You damn demons!" As, well, they all start saying, "Whoa, someone's alive." As it was Mirio Tagata. As they started, well, Endeavor started explaining the situation. Hold on. Don't attack. We're friendly. As Mirio was shocked and was like, "There are other survivors?" Says, "Yes, we've established a base. Island. It's a safe haven." What are you doing here? How do you survive? We thought UA was lost a long time ago. Well, many of us fought bravely. We fought hard. Well, a lot of us died, but some of us lived. As he guides them towards a back room that was hidden away, that was only found by him by accident. As he was being attacked by an imp one day. As everything started. It was being attacked from all around, so his only choice to try and escape was to permeate through some of the walls. But no matter where he kept going, they always seemed to follow him. They always seemed to hunt down, almost as if they could smell his fear. Until he phased through the floor accidentally and fell into this room, expecting them to appear right next to him. Within a matter of seconds, he got ready to run. However, they never did. As Endeavor says, that's quite odd. Wait, would this happen to be right under the principal's office? Yeah. How'd you know? We'll here to get information. As Mira leads him down to a corridor. As he pushes a secret button, which he then discovered to be the exit, an entrance button. As it opens up a sealed doorway, and it was an underground, bunker. But something was strange about this. It had a few runes inscribed into it. It had some sort of lining to it that was unfamiliar. As, well, Endeavor started looking around for the computer and the data analysis, drive that he was looking for. As he found them after scrounging a bit, as Mirio started walking over to the survivors who were in another room separate from where they were currently in. As, well, he introduced some of the survivors. These are the two former Big Three. This is my friend Amajiki, and this is Hato. As, well, he was trying to be as positive as he can. However, he lost his famous smile after seeing somebody close to him die. That was Night Eye. There were also a few other survivors from some of the other classes. One being Shinso. As and from the class 3 areas. Not everybody survived, and they barely had enough rations as Miro went out every day to try and find food and water without being caught, as he was the one most likely to not be in danger, as he also wanted to go alone because they didn't want to risk anybody getting caught without the other two. As Tamaki was, well, Tamaki's quirk might not be the best, but thanks to a revelation of the Argent energy, it seems to be absorbed into his body naturally without him even having to try. It caused his forms to become a lot more powerful. But also Nejire, after accidentally being splattered in the blood of a demon that was attacking her, as Miro was, desperate to try and save her, so he ended up punching it right through the chest, causing the blood to splatter all over her. That the Argent energy contained within its blood seemed to empower her own life force. This, this energy, they all gave him power. It seemed to give them the strength they needed to try and fight. However, there was too little of it. They couldn't acquire it fast enough. They couldn't acquire as much as they needed to try and fight their way back and fight against the demons. Nejire is still at least having a semblance of an upbeat personality, was asking, "Hey, what's with that funny looking armor? Like, what's with all the weapons you got?" As though he replied with nothing but silence. And says, "Not really much of a talkative personality." As Bakugo intervenes and says, "This is Izuku Midoriya, codenamed the Doomslayer." "Ooh, that name's cool." And says, "Well, he kinda earned it." "How? How did he earn it?" Tamaki asked. And said, "Well, with his bare hands alone and nothing but a shotgun and a blade, he was able to kill a horde of and up to 1,000 demons by himself." As the two are shocked. He's bathed in his own sea of blood. He's seen more combat than anybody else in our squad and anybody else on the island. He's also what we call humanity's greatest hope. Well, that's what I like to say at least. As Endeavor finally came back after getting the information that they needed. As some of these guys were wounded, as they were being attended to by some of the other people in the squad. They had their wounds wrapped up, as they were getting they're being patched up, as Endeavor said, "Alright, if you guys want to come with us, we'll take you to the extraction point and we'll have you returned to our island, get properly looked after, and hopefully fed. Maybe even help us defeat these foul demons." As Miria had no other choice really. What could he do? Go out and hope that he can survive one more day, not leave his friends behind in danger? Or something he could not bear to see. He couldn't bear to lose any more than he already has. He says, "Alright, we'll come with you." As he just says, stick by me." As he says, "What about him?" He says, "You'll watch him get into action." As many of these of the a lot of the group had clustered together and started walking outside as screams started echoing around. As it says, how do they figure us where we are already? As they look at Endeavor looks at and bandages and says, the blood. They must smell the blood. So shit, lose the bandages. It's no use, they would have found us anyway. As they were quickly being swarmed by demons from all directions. As there was a swarm of archdemons, flying towards them. As he says, combat positions, get an alpha formation. As they all seem to form into a circle and make a 360 ring. As they pulled out the heavy cannons and start firing into the air, shooting most of them down. However, Deku had more precision and more skill with the heavy cannon than anybody else, as he was picking them out of the sky one by one. As they all fell down, the gates surrounding UA was busted down by a few Hell Knights, as well as a bunch of imps following behind possessed soldiers. As then, a bunch of, cacodemons came flying from the sky. Mira says, what are we gonna do? And says, we're gonna do, he's gonna do what he does best. He's going to rip them a new one. So, let the carnage begin. Deku starts running at top speeds, running towards the cacodemons, using the meat hook to get up close. As he fired a straight shotgun blast right into it before tearing its eye out, and grabbing out his other shotgun in his other hand, firing a sticky bomb into right into its gut, causing it to start convulsing. He fired the heavy cannon as it exploded into a pile of bloody mess. As he landed down, he saw the Hell Knights that were approaching him. As he whipped out the chainsaw, as the first one tried to strike at him, as he simply sawed its head off. The second one was in quick succession as it punched down towards him. However, he blocked it with the chainsaw, started slicing its fist and kept traveling up its arm, eventually slicing the thing diagonally down halfway across the body. The last one. It tried to get up close, dodging, seeing as the chainsaw was now starting to idle from lack of fuel. It took its chance to try and attack. However, it was met back with a brutal punch to its face, causing it to be staggered. As Deku jumps back, pulls out the combat shotgun, attaches a sticky bomb to it, and then uses the super shotgun on its face, as it was really beaten bloody down as, the sticky bomb had detonated, as its head blew off. And so, he pulled out the knife, as, the rest of the team that were firing on the rest of the cacodemons in the sky, and keeping the archdemons at bay, were just so amazed. He was tearing down these things one by one, not giving him more than a few seconds to live. With each step and with each attack, it seems to getting faster and faster. As he would slice these imps in half using the giant blade, ripping off their arm and, well, shoving it right through their own skull, and beating them down into a bloody pulp. As one new challenger had entered. The, well, the, the Baron of Fire. This was not the same Red Baron he had saw, but one looked very similar, as it had two red fiery blades that seemed to come out from its wrists, as it seemed to be covered in a ash-like substance on its skin. As this thing, made the Hell Knights look like made them look like poodles in comparison to into a great day. Too big to even compare. This was everybody's worst nightmare, as this was something that nobody has survived. But what they were about to witness was something that no human could pull off. As it was time for the final carnage to begin. The meat hook was grabbed out, as it was shot towards the flaming hulk of muscle, and sin, as it stabbed into its chest as Deku was being flung towards it. He started wrapping the chain around the beast's neck, as it started to, spin and flail around, trying to get itself loose, as he started facing it down by shooting a few shotgun blasts into its head. However, its tough exterior seemed to keep it from being completely eviscerated. As it finally managed to snag the chain with that was surrounding one of its horns, it threw Deku off, as he stopped himself from sliding all the way back by using the blade stabbing into the ground. As they both stare each other down. And then, once they lock eyes, they rush. One using the blade from his arm, the other one using the shotgun from his hand. As it tried to go down for a swift strike, as it fired a shotgun blast right into his hand, blowing it off. As it tried to attack with the other one, as it was met by another blade, stabbing right into its hand into the ground. And then met with Deku using a sticky bomb right into the beast's head, as it exploded as it chipped away its outer layer of skin, revealing a lava and ash-filled mess, a pile of blood and bone that was staring right back at him with just as much hatred as he put in towards this creature, this unholy thing. As he stared at it, one of its horns fell off, as he picked it up and beat it to death with its own damn horn. And this marks the end of another chapter. I'm just gonna say outright to you guys that that new mic that I bought is absolutely shit. It turns it's like a proper fully set up one as well, but I just don't think my computer is set up to run it properly. So, because granted it's a very cheap mic, so what I'm using right now is not actually the new mic, it's still my old one. Which works fine, but I want to find a more permanent solution. This ain't it. But this new one that I go on and set up, it looked good. It really did, but it's not doing its job right now. So that's $30 I'd wasted down the drain. And look, $30 doesn't sound like much, and it isn't in comparison to what I was trying to get. But I reckon if I had a proper PC build and everything, this would do just fine. But seeing as I'm using a laptop to do all this on, yeah, you can just imagine how bad it is. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for enjoying the Doom what ifs, especially. Um, but yeah, sorry if this gets a bit slow. If I pause for a bit longer, it's just because I'm very tired. As much as I want to be dooming right now, I had like a busy day, so yeah. Please forgive me. I will be putting out different content um this week as well. It's not just gonna be a straight Doom week, but as much as I'd love to do that, I'd rather not just rush through one series, forget about it, and get bored with all the rest of them not doing them. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this part. Like, comment, subscribe. I guess I'm at the point where I can say that now without being criticized. But yeah, I've been the King of Underworld, and I hope you all had a good one. Peace.